That's are a bunch of military guys from the time of Kennedy that wanted to do the changes that are happening now, and particularly the financial system, because they've basically made us debt slaves.
Yeah.
And that was the reason for killing Kennedy. But I've also learned that he wasn't killed, it was his double. And that he's been working with these guys. There were 800, I guess they were good guys in the military. And they put together this plan that's resulted in what's happening now. But anyway, I'm working with a group of people who want us to put together humanitarian projects.
Mm.
And when the financial thing flips, they would be basically paying us and advising us and helping us set up these different projects.
Okay.
And the group that I'm working with, we want to do basically a healing center and a medbed center for humans and another one for animals. And we have to go and present our plans and all this stuff. And anyway, the White Hats are basically working with a group of highly evolved benevolent beings, or the man in the street would refer to them as ETs.
Aliens.
But there quite a few are living among us.
I believe that.
And so one of the things in talking with this one woman, she's in Australia, and she had worked in the secret space program.
Mm-hmm.
And she works with the White Hats and the Alliance, and they just put out a challenge to those of us who want to do projects, and it's a test to see whether we can do it or not.
Yeah.
And the test is, we will be able to use the med beds, and when you use the med beds, you will be returned to perfect health. Anything you have wrong with you, any surgery you've had, any nuts and bolts you have inside,
Nice.
knees, anything, that's all going to be gone. And you'll be restored to perfect health.
It's like when you die and go to heaven.
What?
Like when you die and go to heaven, you'll be restored, right? Yes.
Well, yeah. Basically, we don't die.
Exactly.
What I'm learning is basically we're all eternal. I mean, you might leave the physical plane.
I'm not. When I die, I'm not staying here. I'm going. My brain's going somewhere else.
Well,
exactly.
During this lifetime, you may have the possibility of traveling to some other cultures, other planets.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, here's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
All of us who are doing this have been charged with coming up with talking to 8 people.
Okay.
Who would be willing to use or would want to use the med beds to be restored to perfect health. Now, the deal is, you would need to sign a legal agreement, which is called a non-disclosure. What?
No.
Okay. That's okay.
So go ahead, keep talking.
Well, is this something you would be willing to do?
She's not going to do that.
No,
Okay,
okay. I follow what he says.
okay.
I mean, you show me some kind of alien motherfucker coming down here and saying, "Hey, we're gonna put you in this med bed," then I'll sign it.
They don't say that. They give you.
I
the
don't
option.
care.
Huh?
I don't care. I appreciate it. We're not signing any kind of goofy ass paperwork.
Okay.
I mean, I appreciate it. I respect you to the fullest. But no.
Okay. Now, something I would ask from you is that you would not repeat this conversation we've had.
I'll do whatever I want to do.
Okay.
I mean, there's no, you don't repeat this. I'm not going to talk about it because people will think I'm fucking crazy.
Okay.
But if you're asking me not to repeat, yes. I respect you enough to say I'm not going to repeat it.
Okay.
I mean, is that fair?
Thanks. Well, and the reason we would be signing an NDA because they don't want anyone to come after us to try and harm us or anybody.
I mean, if it comes down to that, I'll fight on your side. But I don't see that happen.
Okay. Alrighty.
But I think that's honest. That's honest.
Oh, sure. Well, I'm being honest.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's why we talk, right?
That's what we
Huh?
talk. Yeah.
That's why we talk.
Yeah.
I mean, you can convince me. It's going to take a lot to convince me.
No.
A lot.
My job is not to convince you. My job is just to offer.
Well, I appreciate that.
opportunity,
I
and
do.
people, are free to, say nope.
I mean, I'd love to live forever and fly across the galaxy. But I don't know if it's going to happen. Maybe it will.
Yeah. I
Maybe
think
it won't.
There's going to be a lot we're going to learn that's not what we were educated.
See, I'd like to see what's beyond the galaxy. What's beyond, what they consider the Big Bang. 13 billion light years away. I want to see what's past that.
Wow. Is it your phone or mine?
That's your phone.
Rattling on.
My phone's silent.
See, this is nice because we're we can talk and we can disagree, but we're still friends.
Oh, of course.
There are people that I know that would they would write us off. I know people in our own family that would turn our backs on us.
No, see, I mean, I believe like alien technology and all that stuff. I would hope it's possible.
That what?
Alien technology and everything. I don't think that we're here just because. I think we came from somewhere.
Oh, I think I believe in the idea that we've had many lifetimes before, because there are things that from a kid I thought about, and I think, different lifetimes and different places. And
I mean, it's possible that we're on Mars at one time. And maybe we transferred over to Earth because Mars blew up for some reason.
it's real interesting I listened to this, show where, can't think of her first name, but her last name is Eisenhower.
Okay.
She's the granddaughter, and talking about what she remembers in talking with him about the benevolent approached him and wanted us to stop wars and all kinds of things.
Mhm.
The group, the military industrial complex,
Yeah.
you know, said, no, we're not dealing with that, And of course, that's, you know, what he said in his final speech about, watch out for those guys. So,
Do you know who Bob Lazar is?
I think he was in the space program or something.
He worked on Area 51.
Okay.
Back engineering alien technology.
Yeah, they reversed a lot of that, and that thing in New Mexico, I read that guy's book that wrote it right before he died.
Yeah, see, I believe Bob Lazar. He's put out a lot of interviews and whatnot about actually seeing alien spaceships and actually working on them.
Right.
Whether he's full of shit is possible, but I can't believe him.
Well, and I listened to an interview with somebody that worked at Area 51, and they worked with there were all these programs they were doing, but one, what was it called? For some reason, this bunny rabbit comes to mind. What was that program? Anyway, they had an alien that helped them reverse a lot of aircraft and do some other stuff, technology, and I can't remember how I guess they captured him in some way, but anyway, he was actually there working with them. And then at one point he asked this scientist that worked with him, saying, you know, he had previously in past centuries lived at Egypt, and he would like to go back and visit that. And so the guy took him there, and they did the tour and everything, and when they got to Luxor, there obviously was some sort of portal.
Yeah.
And the guy basically said, hasta la vista, and left.
Nice.
Went back, I guess, to his planet. I don't know.
Yeah, there's so much goofy stuff that I don't. It's like I'm to the point where I believe that rather than God.
I'm not clear on that, what you're saying.
I believe in alien technology versus God.
Oh, well, what I'm learning is what you see in the science fiction thing is God is source, God is love, God is compassion.
But what is God?
And it's, you know, I don't think it's a person. I think it's a frequency, a force of some kind.
That's very confusing. You know, once you start thinking about it, who really created all this?
God did.
Well,
But what's God?
He's our creator.
Where did God come from?
He always has been.
But the other thing I think is that we are going to learn, because I remember talking to this woman that was a nurse that I worked with. She was from, what's that island down there?
Is it in the Caribbean?
No, down towards South America. Anyway, she at one point, she was Catholic and she knew this Jesuit priest that was there in her country, and he had, at one point, he had access to the some kind of special library or the place where there were all these sacred documents and all kinds of stuff. It's under lock and key, and it's all run by, she said, you know, the order of the Jesuits. I mean, who were, I guess,
nice.
some part of the Catholic Church.
Those people are evil.
He had told her, you know, that they've been in touch with the aliens previously from other centuries, and that basically, and I'll never forget, right before she died, we went out to lunch, and she said, I believe in aliens, you know, ETs and all. And I said, oh, here, I knew you did, so I gave her this book that's written by a Native American woman from out in Washington State, and she said, well, basically he said that, you know, that's the Vatican changed the whole religious history.
Yeah, I can believe
And the
that.
whole idea of, you know, putting people to believe created all the fear, the devil, that there is negativity that exists, and they associate it with Satan, and but just, I was kind of like, wow, he actually told you this? And she said, yeah, he did, and that was kind of right before she died, so I don't know, but I think the Vatican was hiding a ton of stuff, but I understand it's been raided.
They're still hiding stuff. Because they don't want anybody to know what is actually happening.
They what?
They don't want anybody to know what's actually happening.
Right, and
Because if you can use this superior being to control people, that's the biggest power ever. If you don't follow this guy, you're gonna die. If you don't follow this guy, the way we say you're gonna follow this guy, then you're gonna go to hell.
right, there's no hell. I don't believe it.
It's just like the political situation
it's all
going
about
on.
Control and power.
That's what it's about.
It's no, the Vatican. Well, my understanding from some military friends is you're not going to believe all the military tribunals that have been going on at Gitmo, and we obviously, I didn't know this, have a half a dozen other prison areas.
Oh, definitely.
That you know, these people have been taken out, really bad guys.
Yeah, that's horrible. I mean, we're so down here. We don't know shit. You know?
We've been dumbed down for centuries.
Yeah. It's like, but I mean, what are you going to do? I'm just going to live my life and be happy. Because there's nothing I can do about what's happening up there or over there, this and that and the other.
We're just responsible for ourselves.
Just mow my grass.
Yeah.
That's all I can do. Unless I came into a shitload of money to where I could be like, all right, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do that. I don't see that happening.
No, that you do this and you do that and you do that. That intention shit, my understanding is that ain't gonna happen after we do this whole flip thing.
Yep.
So that'll be interesting.
I just, I live my life One day at a time.
Yeah.
Yesterday don't mean shit. Tomorrow, maybe. Maybe I'll worry about tomorrow. Yesterday don't mean shit. Nothing means anything. Except for today.
Right. We don't control tomorrow, that's for sure.
I mean, you can control tomorrow, but realistically, you can't. You can't do anything. All you can do is live the best you can every day.
True. Well, Sheena's crashed.
She's crushed, but she gone down for the night?
I think so.
Do what, Bill?
Does she need water?
Does she need water or anything?
Or is she
No,
okay?
she had water and dinner before we left.
I swear I'm gonna get another dachshund.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually I'm gonna get another dachshund.
Yeah. What color would you get? Black and tan?
Black and tan, of
Black
course.
and tan?
You have to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what really gets me is on the internet looking at I subscribe to that neighborhood app.
Mm.
Every day there are people, who they wake up and here's 2 or 3 dogs in their yard or their front porch because somebody came along and dumped them, and some of them are chipped and they go to the vet and they find out who owned them, and the people will not respond to the phone number. And just crazy stuff. And it's like, why do you have a pet if you have a hard time or bad health, try and find a good home, but don't just dump them out there.
Yeah, oh man.
Well, see, those people should be shot. People like that should be shot.
Bill feels very strongly about that.
I mean, you're
He feels strongly about that.
if you're irresponsible and stupid,
There's just
should be put down.
and somebody 2 weeks ago they went fishing somewhere out Smithville, and what did they find? I think they were what's the dog that everybody's kind of afraid of?
Like a Rottweiler or a boxer.
Pit bull?
Pit bull.
Pit bull. 2 pit bulls that somebody had tied a rope around their neck and tied them to a cinder block.
That's why those dogs are mad.
And they were just half in the water and half out, but they were drowned. Just horrible shit.
Those people, they get pit bulls, and pit bulls are sweet. They're very
my
sweet.
nephew he's had 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah. But if you treat them like shit, those dogs are mean. They're gonna eat you.
Well, that's kind of true of
Any dog.
any dog, especially the big ones.
Yeah. It's like somebody was saying, you have however many dogs or whatever in your house, and they love you, or they show that they love you. But if you passed away, those dogs are going to eat you because they want to live.
Well, my understanding when I adopted her is in San Antonio, and some guy was behind a car, stopped at a light, and the people in the vehicle opened the back doors, and out jumped 6 dogs. The only one that the guy was not able to round up was a German Shepherd that took off.
Oh, wow.
But I was like, holy cow.
I don't know how you could be that mean to people, to
There's
anything.
shelters and all kinds of groups that you can find homes for them.
Those people, like I said, those people should be drug out in the street and shot.
Do what?
Those people that do things like that should be drug out in the street and shot.
I still didn't hear my hearing aids not
It
working.
says the people that mistreat animals like that should be drug out in the street and shot.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say I'm for that, but I think they're not going to have a very happy life when things change. This woman that I listened to was in the secret space program was saying that once the flip happens, the change happens on the planet, those people who have an intention to harm another human being or an animal
Mm-hmm.
will not be living on this planet.
Oh, I would hope not.
Now, where they're going to ship them off to, I don't know, but that would be good.
Have you ever watched or listened to Dr. Stephen Greer?
Listen to him in the past. I used to have that thing on my phone, and well, one time I remember telling Linda, what was it? I looked out the bathroom window, and there was this strangest thing up there, and there were these lights, and then there were things at ends that were flashing, and then there were others kind of in the middle, and I was like, is that a ship? Wow. Come on, guys, come on down.
Yeah, Stephen Greer, he's a very interesting guy. He believe, I don't know if he does, but he's like, I've got all these documents and stuff about past things.
Well, he actually had an encounter when he lived in North Carolina.
Yeah, and he takes people to go have encounters now.
Right.
He believes that if you meditate hard enough, and he'll take people out to the forest, and if you meditate, the aliens will come and you'll be able to see them.
Well, and I listened to one tape of his, and he does all these things on the weekend, different places, mainly out west. But one, I think it was somewhere in the desert in Arizona, and it was, the people pay him, and then they're staying at a motel or something. Then they go out at night until about 2 or 3 in the morning and do their meditation, and then, but I remember him telling about there was this guy he might have been from New York or something. He was like 80 or 90 years old, and he had been deaf since he was a kid.
Yeah.
And that, so they did their meditation and all, and then they saw these orbs all around. And then finally, one of them came down and was like about the distance out to the road, and he assumed a shape that was kind of like a pyramid type thing, but had different colors. And anyway, he was communicating with the guy, I guess telepathy.
Yeah.
And anyway, the being just said, welcome, and we're here just to observe. And anyway, they, all these people were kind of like, oh my God, snapping pictures and everything. But anyway, then at a certain time, I guess 2 or 3 in the morning, they decide, okay, time to go in and go to bed and then go to breakfast. And the older guy, I think he had trouble with sight too, but anyway, he said that the being came up behind him and said he wanted to talk to him. And so the guy stayed there with the being, and all the others went inside. And the next morning, he revealed what they said back and forth. And but what was interesting was when the being left, he had total hearing
Oh, nice.
and sight.
Nice.
And it was like, so basically the being had just, maybe he had asked him,
Yeah.
what he would like or something, and the being restored his hearing and sight.
See, there's way too much. I mean, to believe that we created everything from like the pyramids or whatever, there's no way. There's no way we did that.
And there's pyramids all
Over the earth.
planet,
Yeah.
under the water.
Yeah.
And I want to learn more about Antarctica.
There's supposed to be one there too.
And it's interesting. I found a copy online of Bird's diary that he wrote and his son published, and how it talked about how he and a guy flew into this area, and then their plane was taken possession of and brought down to between the ice and everything. And here was this whole civilization under the ice.
Yeah.
And this, I guess the guy in charge, greeted him. And anyway, they were talking about, why do you feel the need to have all these wars, and what can't you all get it together up there? I thought, yep, that's true.
There's some way bigger than us. Huge.
But I read a book that this guy had written that knew that, can't remember how he got introduced, but have you ever heard of Valiant Thor? He actually came to, it was after Eisenhower. He came, and who was president? I can't remember now. Anyway, he was actually at the Pentagon for 2 years, and they tested him with all kinds of stuff, and he wore the suit, and they actually had him change clothes. He put on a suit, and they gave him his suit. They could not destroy it. They couldn't burn it. They couldn't use anything to tear it up or anything. And, it totally protected him. And real interesting. And then recently, this woman from the space program has said that he's back helping, and he's like from Venus, and he's like the picture of him at the Pentagon. He looked really young, just like your age, and somebody posted a picture recently on Telegram and said, he's working with the Alliance, and he looks the same, and he's like thousands of years old.
Nice. I like that.
So much we don't know.
There's tons that we don't know at all. I mean, it's just, the universe is so freaking huge. There's got to be something else out there. It's just ridiculous that we would be this one little ball floating around.
They're just, my understanding is there's trillions of, what do you call them? All the
universes, galaxies.
Yeah. Galaxies, yeah.
And they're finding more and more with the James Webb telescope. They're seeing past what the Big Bang was supposed to be.
Well, what's beyond that?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. I want to know what's past that. It would be so awesome.
You may get your chance.
I hope so. I figure when I die, I'll probably get it.
I know my husband that died, John, used to talk about, it's funny, I thought, God, John, you should be alive now with all the stuff that's going on, and the ETs are back to help us and all, and his thing was, no, I'd like to travel and go to different planets and see how they live and what did they do, and on and on. I remember thinking, nah, I don't think so.
If you could at least fly by and take a look,
Yeah.
it'd be so awesome. But I don't know. Right now, I sit in my house.
Look how thick her hair is. Her hair was thin before, Bill.
Yeah.
Look at how thick it is.
Well, it's because of these things that we're wearing. A frequency device.
Yes.
I've got one, she's got one, so. What's interesting is that the doctor and scientist who invented these things was working on all of this technology back when old man Bush was in charge.
H.W. or
Not the young Bush, but the older guy.
Herbert Walker.
Yeah, in charge. Wasn't he in charge of CIA?
Yes.
Anyway, came in, and these doctors and scientists were working on all this, and then they decided to present it to him and say, this could really help, people of the planet and and our country and the military and everything. Next thing they knew, old Bush sent in, I guess, the CIA or whoever, and they totally wiped their whole stuff. But this guy was really on the ball because he documented everything and it was well preserved. So now he's coming back and basically to get these, you become a member in their organization, and your membership, which is paying for this, promotes their research and all. And so the next thing we're working on is a device it's about 40 pounds, and it's going to create the correct frequency in your house.
Yeah.
And but what's interesting is and this is something I've read recently, he and the guys he had worked with said there was tons and tons and tons of research out of Europe that basically the basic for most diseases was parasites.
Yeah.
You either get them through your pets, your food, working in the dirt, your garden, or whatever. And so these things have the highest frequency you can get in these little devices is against parasites. And so when Sheena was over at the doctor's office with some problem, some diarrhea and all, and I was looking and said, oh, parasites is a potential cause of diarrhea. Actually, I think she got a hold of something on the back porch that the cat maybe had drug in. And the vet said, well, I don't think we need to check for parasites. I said, please check for parasites. So he looked and he said, I didn't see anything, but I'll send it off. And then he called me and he said, there's no parasites. And I thought, yeah, I know why. What she's wearing and what I'm wearing, because it's made a big difference in, me and my health problems.
So if it cures diabetes and psoriasis, I'm down.
Do what?
So if it cures psoriasis and diabetes, I'll be down.
Okay. Well, everyth's based on frequency is what I'm learning. So
I mean, if it cures autoimmune diseases,
yeah. I mean, look at what
I don't think you can cure them, but
the vaccine. My sister
I
has
don't take
had all
vaccines.
of those damn shots and even more, and she does not believe a word I say. And I keep thinking, oh, sister, wait till you find out the truth.
So yeah, if it would cure my son from type 1 diabetes, yeah.
Yeah, could cure everything.
Prove it.
But I hope my sister makes it for the med beds. Oh, Lord. We'll see.
So has she been sleeping better at night?
Huh?
Has she been sleeping better at night now?
Well,
Since she's
a little better.
a little bit.
She's
um,
relaxed right now.
I know. She wants to go home and go to bed.
I said with my loud voice and whatnot, she's doing pretty good.
So they didn't really know how old she was.
No, they said she was 10, so that was what, 20, 21?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so she's marching on. One of the things I thought I have to research is, you were talking about your tramadol,
Mhm.
and I know when I had that other bigger dog,
Yeah.
Winston,
Mhm.
he had arthritis, and they gave him tramadol for
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
But, and the pill was really, if I remember, it was real little and white.
Yeah.
Is that what yours
Little and
is?
white, yeah, it's little and white, yeah.
I think that's 50 milligrams, and I
Yeah.
was wondering if there's something a whole lot smaller that would be easier to give her, because that jaw thing, you know, that somehow those fucking vets created that problem for her when
Right.
she had the dental.
She had her teeth pulled, but now she has mucus. And she didn't have that before they pulled all her
It's
teeth.
like a chronic thing, and I did the research. The vet didn't tell me any of this. I did all the research. It said it's normally caused by, first, this would be a larger dog who got eating rocks, you know,
Yeah.
a big stick that snaps and causes some puncture in there, or dental. And I
Let's say, because your sinus cavities come through, so
Yeah.
maybe that's
dogs have 3 mucus glands in the mouth. And obviously something happened. I mean, they need mucus to collect with food and swallow and stuff like that, but it kind of drains out of one side, and I'm thinking, I bet that when you took out a tooth or you
There's
did
gotta be a
something,
hole.
you cut the line that maybe it just should have just be in the mouth, coming out the side. And the research is surgery, and I'm like, oh great, that's probably gonna be a couple $1,000.
Just pack it. Get you some cement.
No. So anyway, she's got this liquid pain stuff that she gets right before she eats, because it kind of, he said it makes her jaw hurt, so we'll see. Hopefully she and I can get the med bed.
You get a tramadol or something.
Yeah, the tramadol.
Chop
Well,
one up.
That's what I was thinking. I don't know what's the smallest amount of milligrams.
I don't know what you got, but
I've got 50 milligrams, but it has a line down it where you can cut it in half if you have to.
half would be a lot for a dog like that.
Yeah, you'd have to go.
You'd probably have to go a quarter to an eighth.
You'd have to cut it in half and then cut that half in half again.
Definitely.
Well, you know, the ones that I remember with Winston, they were like they didn't have any line in it, but they were skinny white pills.
Maybe they come a lot smaller than
Well,
that.
that's what I'd like to find out, because that would be a lot. There's this stuff I've used with previous dogs. It's like bacon flavored, and it's this stuff you pull out, and it's kind of mushy. I don't know. You put it around pills so they can swallow
so they
it.
swallow it, yeah.
And I
You
thought,
can wrap it in cheese too. Dogs love cheese.
you know, and this has kind of, you can tell it kind of smells like bacon. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll take some of that.
So they're all for that. They're up for that.
Right.
We always used to have a pill and put it in some little piece of cheese. And
No, dogs they eat that.
But I'm kind of worried about giving her cheese,
Give her cheese,
because you know, with the chicken stuff that she gets, I put some bone broth in there and stir it up to make it pretty soft and watery. So
Now, Mike said that when they worked, being he was a dog handler, he said they would put the pill away in the back of the mouth, and then they would, stroke the throat, 'cause then they had to swallow the pill.
Yeah, and the other thing I noticed one time is I blew in her face, and and I thought, oh, she swallowed the pill, so I took my fingers and gently pried open her mouth, and there was a light there in the kitchen, and I thought, it went
It
down.
went down.
So,
Very nice.
Maybe that made her swallow, I guess it made her swallow.
I think so.
I know that's one thing they don't like, is if you blow in their face, they don't like that.
She probably didn't. That
Didn't
was
like
only
it.
one time I did that.
I accidentally did it one time, and Frida was like, she was like that,
I'll be mad if somebody's blowing in my face.
I know, but I don't know why, and I don't know why I did that, but she was like, she didn't like it.
Yeah. Well, I have some quercetin, and I have to snap that into quarters, and then I put that bacony stuff around it and make these teeny tiny little brown balls, and because she likes the smell, she takes it and
Yeah, right
swallows
quick, yeah.
it, so that helps with the itching. And
Yeah,
I was reading through the notes that woman who did the dental, and she kept saying, this dog really needs, and I can't remember the name of the medicine for her allergies. She's just lots of allergies, and it's not well controlled. And I thought, excuse my French, motherfucker, you gave her that shot before, and I didn't know that it wasn't, good for her. I mean, put out by the goddamn, I think Pfizer,
Yeah.
but what does it do? It's terrible for the immune system. I'm like, no, we're doing quercetin pills or nettles, stuff like that. It's limited, but it's better than the druggy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
that, a lot of that stuff they give you is bad side effects.
Yeah, I don't take anything if I don't have to.
I can't wait until all this disclosure comes out, because my understanding is going to be the Alliance is talking 10 days or 2 weeks of darkness, where I don't know how they're going to do this, we will be forced to stay in our home, and they will blast on the TV all the Gitmo trials, convictions, and executions, and all the crimes against humanity.
Mm-hmm.
My sister is gonna freak out for all those damn Democrats that she voted for, who were criminals and into that child trafficking. Man, did you know about that?
Mm.
Yeah, the
I
trials.
didn't know about that until all this stuff came out. 800,000 kids out of the U.S. every year go to these people in bad military who were, oh Lord, making that adrenochrome. Do you know about that?
From the babies.
Just, terrorizing them, doing horrible things to them. You get that adrenaline going, and then you sacrifice them and you drain the blood out.
Yeah.
And it's an anti-aging thing. And the woman in the space program said, somebody was asking her, well, why didn't the bad guys, if they had these med beds, why weren't they using it? She said, well, once you sell your soul, the med beds are set up that the technology will not work for you if you have done any of that. So what they had to do was get into the adrenochrome, which was anti-aging and all this kind of crap. But I thought, okay.
It's a ridiculous world.
Yeah. Well, we should go home and go to bed.
Go to bed.
I'm thinking I'm going to go to bed early
Go to
tonight.
bed early tonight.
Yeah.
I don't even know what time it is.
It's probably, what, 9?
No.
9 o'clock doesn't work. So.
That one doesn't work. The last
Oh.
time my mother had work done on it, it was $600, and that was 20 years ago. I'm sure it cost